What up, it's your boy Ray here, bringing you the first episode of our 5 ways to be a better rifler YouTube series. This series will help you get one taps like Scream, clutch like Hiko, and win majors like Coldzera. We will cover the topics recoil control, trigger discipline, spray transfers, and movement and habits. Today we'll be covering counter-strafing, or how to get headshots while moving. Over the course of this video, we'll quickly be covering why it is important to counter-strafe, exactly how to counter-strafe, 2 ways you can practice counter-strafing, and we'll even give you a crosshair you can use while mastering this technique. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button and comment below. In Counter-Strike, weapons are most accurate when standing still. Counter-strafing is when a player briefly strafes in the opposite direction of his or her current trajectory to stand still quicker and fire accurately as quickly as possible. It is the basis for ADAD and Jiggle Peeking. Let's talk about 3 of the reasons why counter-strafing is important. The first reason why counter-strafing is important is that it is essential for controlling your inaccuracy. Unlike other shooting games, guns are inaccurate in CSGO whilst moving, but they are highly accurate when you stand still. Simply releasing the movement keys, however, is not enough to make you accurate. Counter-strafing is especially important for the Desert Eagle, which is incredibly accurate, but only while standing still. Secondly, counter-strafing evens out duels against a camping player. Imagine you are a terrorist and you need to take out a CT camping in the overpass, underpass, or connector area as shown here. The CT will most likely be pre-aiming at the position at which your head will appear, and so will be able to kill you before you can accurately shoot. If you pre-aim his position, you can even out the duel by counter-strafing and firing when you are accurate. Combined with Peeker's advantage and the fact that the AK-47 is a one-shot kill, counter-strafing will be the difference between you beating the defender and you missing and dying. Thirdly, counter-strafing and practicing counter-strafing will give you the advantage in strafe duels against another player where you're both strafing left and right like madmen. The player that has practiced the skill the most will be victorious. In situations like these, you need to be able to aim with your movement, not just with your mouse. Counter-strafing is a very important skill, and it is recommended that you start practicing counter-strafing straight away, no matter what skill level you are. Even in the higher ranks of matchmaking, many players are unaware of counter-strafing and its power. If you are a lower level player and you start practicing counter-strafing now, then when you are at higher levels, then you will have an advantage even over more experienced players, including global elites. Let's learn the basics of counter-strafing. We will be demonstrating how to counter-strafe on the workshop map Training Aim CSGO 2. You can find a link to the map in the description below. Simply click on the subscribe button on the page and the map will be available in the Offline with Bots section of CSGO. You might find it helpful to enable bullet impact indicators using SV Show Impacts 2 in your console. You can open your console by pressing the accent key on your keyboard to the left of 1. Load up the map Training Aim CSGO 2 and grab an AK. Use the wall controls on the left to change the training type to Burst Training, and make your way over to level 2 of the map by shooting at the wall controls or pressing E on level 2. Once on level 2, press the start button to spawn a target on the center of the screen. Move in one direction using A, then release A and immediately tap and release D to become 100% accurate. Congratulations, you've just counter-strafed. You will know you have done this correctly if the number at the top increases. If you fail to counter-strafe correctly, then you will miss your target and the number will not increase. Notice that if you simply release A without tapping D, then you will still be inaccurate for a while because you do not immediately stop. Counter-strafing causes you to stop immediately. If you have not yet mastered the skill of counter-strafing, it will be very helpful to have a visual guide on your screen to know when you are 100% accurate. Thankfully, Valve have included dynamic crosshairs and an optional crosshair dot in CSGO. Shown on screen is a recommended crosshair to use for all skill levels. It will definitely help you master the skill of counter-strafing. This crosshair expands while you are inaccurate, but is nice and tight when you are accurate and ready to shoot, so that you can easily aim at your target even whilst moving. The crosshair features a large center dot which you can use to position your aim. To download the crosshair, please check out the description box beneath this video, where you will find a link to a file called crosshair.cfg. You can paste the contents at the end of your auto-exec file, which you can find in C, Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, CFG. If you do not already have an auto-exec file, simply place the crosshair.cfg file in this folder and add +exec crosshair.cfg to your Counter-Strike Global Offensive launch options as shown on the screen. Let's move on to 2 ways you can practice counter-strafing. First, we will be using the workshop map Aimbots, which you can find a link to in the description below. Subscribe to the map on the workshop and then load it up. Find the wall with the controls and use the seeding controls to close off all sides but the side opposite to the controls. Use the center control to remove the base wall. It is very important not to flick to your enemies like people normally do on aim_bots. Practicing flicks is important, but for proper counter-strafing technique you must aim with your keyboard and your movement, not with your mouse. Position your crosshair on one enemy's head. Use A to strafe left. When you want to stop to shoot, let go of A and immediately tap and release D to counter-strafe and become 100% accurate. Shoot. Then move again using D or A and repeat the process. Practice killing bots using only your movement to aim, remembering to counter-strafe before each kill. If you do it correctly, you will notice your bullets go where your crosshair is. But if you fail your counter-strafe, your red bullet's impacts will show that you hit the wall some distance away from the center of your crosshair. Because you are only using your keyboard to aim, you may run out of enemies you can kill. Once this has happened, reposition your mouse as an enemy, and then continue aiming with your keyboard until you need to reposition again. Practice this for about 10 minutes every day and you should see amazing results after a week. To get practice counter-strafing against real opponents, try to find a headshot only community server, preferably on AIM map, but Dust2 or similar will be okay. Focus on strafing using A and D to get your crosshair on an enemy's head, trying to move your mouse as little as possible in each fight. Do not look at the scoreboard. Your score does not matter, only how much you are improving at the important skill of counter-strafing. 15 minutes 3 times per week should be enough to get you to global level. There we have it, the first episode of our 5 ways to be a better rifler series. Up next is recoil control, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one and some epic gameplay and funny clips. If you want to check out my Twitch channel, come to twitch.tv/Raigasm, that's twitch.tv/RAIGASM, and join me and other players from around the world for some epic CSGO games. Take care.